Today, we're diving into a really fascinating story about a community that's taking a completely different approach to the world of crypto. We're going to explore a quieter, more disciplined path to building digital assets, one that's all about community and consistent action, not just risky bets. You know, for a lot of people, the crypto world feels like a Las Vegas casino at 3 a.m. It's loud, it's chaotic, and it's driven by this intense hype and fear of missing out. If you're someone who values a more thoughtful, measured approach in life, you might look at all that and think, this is not for me. But does it really have to be that way? And look, it's no wonder so many people feel overwhelmed. The second you dip your toe in, you're just bombarded with crazy charts, insider jargon, and promises of getting rich overnight. It makes it almost impossible for a careful beginner to find a safe way in. The whole environment seems to reward impulse, not patience. Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. 7DAO comes in with a totally different mindset. The idea is to shift away from that high-stress world of speculation and instead embrace a philosophy of patient, steady accumulation. Think of it less like a frantic sprint and more like a long-term journey, a practice in mindfulness and financial discipline. This chart just lays it out so clearly. On the one hand, you've got speculation. That's all about trying to time the market, riding these waves of hype and fear. Frankly, it's exhausting. But then you look at the other side, accumulation. This path is driven by discipline, by habit. It's about quiet, steady growth. It's a much more humble, sustainable way to think about building wealth over the long term. And this quote right here, it just nails the core identity. Now that word in the name, DAO, is really key. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, which is just a fancy way of saying a community owned and run by its members. So the value here isn't about making some brilliant, risky trade. It's about showing up, participating, and learning together. The focus shifts from the result to the process. So that's the big idea. But how does this philosophy actually work in practice? Well, you might be surprised by just how simple and elegant the system is. Let's break it down. So here's the engine of the whole thing. Every time you contribute to the community, say through a subscription or by joining an activity, a part of that value is automatically, behind the scenes, converted into cryptocurrency for you. You're not logging in to trade, you're not watching charts, you are simply accumulating assets by being an active part of the community. It really boils down to this simple, powerful loop. You participate, you contribute, and then you accumulate. The best part is that it's all designed to be automatic and totally transparent, so it takes all the guesswork and constant decision-making off your plate. Now, this is maybe the most crucial part. The system is basically designed to protect you from your own worst emotional impulses. It takes away that FOMO, the fear of missing out, and the FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt that makes people buy high and sell low. Instead of riding that emotional roller coaster, you're just quietly building a habit of patient, consistent accumulation. Okay, so this whole philosophy, this system, it's now finding a really exciting new home in Southeast Asia, the ASEAN region. And this isn't random, it's a very intentional move. So why there? Well, when you look at the ASEAN region, it's just a perfect match. You've got this incredibly young, tech-savvy population that's super open to new ideas. It's this amazing melting pot of cultures with a real shared hunger for economic growth. And there's a natural curiosity for assets and systems that live outside of traditional banking. The energy is just right. So, in a part of the world that's so eager to jump into the digital economy, but is also rightly cautious about scams and complexity, this community becomes a kind of safe harbor. It's a place where you can learn the ropes, ask any question you want without feeling silly, and just build your confidence in a really supportive way. And I really want to drive this point home. This is about so much more than just watching a balance go up in a digital wallet. The real prize here is empowerment, the kind that comes from real knowledge and practical, hands-on skills. Members here are learning by doing. We're talking about the absolute essentials, setting up your own digital wallet, learning how to protect your private keys, which are basically the master password to your assets, and getting a feel for how different networks like Ton or Solana actually work. You're building genuine digital literacy one step at a time. And that's the ultimate goal, isn't it? It's not about finding that one magical, life-changing trade. It's about the incredible power of small, consistent actions that compound over time. You're not just building assets, you're building real confidence and habits that will serve you for years to come. So as we start to wrap this up, what's the big picture? What's the real takeaway from this whole story? The goal here is a complete break from the usual crypto narrative. It's not about getting rich tomorrow or showing off flashy gains. It's about pursuing a quieter, more profound kind of wealth, one that's built on shared knowledge, steady progress, and the collective confidence that you get from learning and growing as a group. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. In a world that is so full of noise and volatility, what if the most powerful tool for building your future wasn't some complex trading chart, but was the steady, disciplined support of a community? What if building wealth didn't have to be a frantic, lonely race, but could instead be a quiet, shared journey?